So when we left off, we had just requested reviews, and now we've come back and we have all of our reviews approved. Now, how do we go through and finally get this code off to the main branch where other people can see and use it? Well, ultimately, all the bot checks have passed, all of our review requirements have passed, and the branch is set to go with, or then there's no merge conflicts. So what we're going to do is we can go through and merge. Now, this green button here typically has a couple different options. In this particular repository, squash and merge is the only one that's enabled. But there are sometimes different options between merges that you can do. If you want to go through and create a merge commit, it basically goes and ties the two forks together, and it puts all of your commits that you've made onto the original branch that you're merging onto, in this case main, just the way they are. This is good if you're trying to go preserve your own Git history, but it does mean that if you have like a lot of commits, it can be kind of floody. So that's why I typically prefer squash and merge, because what it will do is it will take all of your commits, condense them onto one, and then stick it on there. Now, the one limitation that comes with squash and merge, though, is that you don't have the ability to basically keep working on the same branch and move forward. When you squash and merge, you typically need to move to a new branch and delete the one you're on. So, just as a heads up, that is the big limitation for squash and merge. But a lot of repositories will automatically, have you do that anyway, so you don't have duplicate work, and there's that. Rebase goes through and it physically changes where the fork and where you branched in basically the code came from. And that can be helpful under certain circumstances, but it also does rewrite parts of the Git history. So this is typically considered the most dangerous of them. Typically, the merge commit and the squash and merge are the safer options. So I would generally pick one of those if you've got an option. However, all we've got to do to actually do the merge is pick which one we want, in this case, squash and merge. We click it, we go through, we approve it, and as you can see here, this is our changelog that we were talking about of adding the different classes and, basically all the different things we did over the course of development. And once we say that's good, and by default it generally is, we can go through confirm squash and merge. And we've automatically gone through and shipped all the code. Now it's really worth noting here too, that if we head back to code now, you can see that under the source code, all of it is showing up now there. In the next video, we'll be coming back to the code reviews, this time as a reviewer, to go talk about giving it, before we'll spend a little bit more detail into, once we know how a code review looks and how you go through and resolve that. So that's coming up in the next couple videos. I'll see you then.